It's not clickbait. I really am going back. And not for like a trial period or an experiment or anything like that. No, my next main machine is going to be an Intel-based workstation. How's it going, everyone? I hope you're all doing well. And today we're going to be exploring this and discussing why in 2023, going back to Intel. Okay, so first off, a little bit of background info on my MacBook Pro. So this is the 2020 M1 MacBook Pro with 16 gigabytes of RAM and importantly, the base storage option. I got this thing back in mid-2021 and I've used it as my main machine basically ever since. I mean, there was a time when something was broken on it and I had to send it in for repairs, but I used my PC. But other than that, it has solidly been my main computer. So after all this time, why am I finally getting rid of it? And why am I going back to Intel? So this video is going to be split into two parts. The first part is going to be essentially me explaining why I initially made the switch, what I'm switching to, and the second half of the video is essentially just going to be unboxing and setting up my new computer. So first of all, without further ado, let's talk about why I am switching. So one of the main reasons is music production. Now, I know what some of you are going to say, Logic is much faster on M1. That's true. I use Pro Tools. Pro Tools, in my experience on M1, just really hasn't been all that good, especially with a lot of the third-party plugins that I personally like to use. Personally, I don't know when a lot of these audio plugins are going to get good on M1, so for the time being, seeing as I use them every day, going back to Intel does kind of make sense in this regard. The next reason I'm going back to Intel is because, well, due to the fact that M1 is so popular, Intel-based Macs are really cheap. Like, you can get a really decent 16-inch MacBook Pro for the price of an M1 MacBook Air. Well, M2 now. So that was a big pull for me. You guys, if you're a frequent watcher, will know I love a deal. And so we're going to find out whether or not I regret that decision because, spoiler alert, I've got one in the other room. If I was in a cartoon, it'd be like, ooh. Guess this will be an interesting way of finding out whether or not the value is worth it. The final reason is I'm just plain curious. I needed to buy a new computer anyway, and so I thought, why not go with an Intel one? It was coming up on my recommended eBay searches, and so I found one from a reputable supplier, and I bought one. Sometimes there doesn't need to be that many reasons. I love tech, and for me, a big part of that is just plain curiosity. I took the plunge, I ordered a 16-inch MacBook Pro. Fun fact, that was actually going to be the MacBook Pro I bought if I didn't get the M1, and so let's go unbox it. Okay, so I made and edited a video on this 16-inch MacBook Pro, and to nobody's surprise, it was flawless. Bit of info on this MacBook Pro I've just picked up is the 16-inch model, i7. I didn't really feel like I needed the i9 processor, 32 gigs of RAM, and the higher-end graphics card. I bought it used, hence the light wear on this thing. I wasn't expecting that, honestly, but realistically, I'd rather damage be cosmetic than genuinely affect the performance of the machine. And yeah, I'm gonna keep this machine. Okay, so what have I actually come away with? Well, number one, don't believe hype. Seriously, if you come away with one piece of information from this video, don't believe hype. I bought my M1 MacBook Pro at the height of M1 mania, and while it was a phenomenally good machine, nothing is that good. Like, honestly, I do think I prefer this 16-inch MacBook, and sure, while I could have gone with an M1 machine, I don't know, I was curious, the price was right. Yeah, so far, really happy with it. And number two, you don't need the latest and greatest. Seriously, I've said this so many times on this channel, but you really don't. I certainly don't run on the latest and greatest. I'm recording this video on a camera from 2017. I've tried the latest and greatest. I've tried Canon, Sony's, but I keep coming back to this little GH5 because the video quality combined with the colors are so nice. And sure, while I will probably upgrade to something like an S5 relatively soon, this thing has served me well. I have no idea how many views my channel has at this point, but I know it's over 10 million. And sure, while I'm not the biggest YouTuber, I think that's really cool. I think it's even even more cool that it was done on prosumer video audio equipment and base model iMacs and MacBook Pros. Chances are, if you're looking to buy a MacBook Pro, you want to do something cool. And so please, don't get conned into spending more than you need to. You don't need the highest end Mac Pro to make some cool looking videos. I take pride in my videos, and I do a lot of funky things like color grading and speed ramping, and I've still never felt like I've needed the highest end computer. And sure, while due to my job choice, yo, there's some lambs. We'll see those in a minute. I could definitely justify it. I really don't need to. And what kind of example would I be setting if I did? Now, of course, there is definitely a space for using super high-end equipment. I also certainly don't think M1 is a bad platform. I was just curious to go back to Intel and found out that it didn't suddenly make my computer radioactively repulsive. Like, it's taught me, again, it's fine not to use the latest and greatest stuff. Anyway, let's go see these lambs. So, the takeaway from this video, buy what computer you think is best for you, ignore the swinging competitions on the forums, and go make something cool. Oh, check out these lambs. How much cooler are they than arguing with strangers on the internet over computers? Look at that, they come right up to you. How cool is that? I hate to see it when people buy something new that they love and are so excited about, but then find out that something else has a higher score on Geekbench. And sure, specs have an important place, but they're not the be-all and end-all of user experience. Alright, so I thought we'd finish this video out by setting up my new desk. Now my desk is kind of a, well, state at the moment, and seeing as I'm keeping this new computer, I thought we'd take the time to, well, make it a little bit nicer. I think it's essentially gonna be like this. I'm gonna have the one screen down here, big screen up here, but it's still gonna manage the fact that it is a dual system setup. So I have my PC, which I use for fun stuff, and my Mac, which I essentially just use for my work. Gonna get a nice balance of functionality as well as looking nice. Alright guys, so that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Let me know, by the way, what processor are you using? Are you using Apple, Intel, AMD? Feel free to let me know in the comments. I always enjoy reading those. As for now though, as always, thank you for watching. Remember to like the video if you want to see more content like this, then smash that subscribe button. I'm done for now, and I will see you guys in the next one.